The sun had barely crested the horizon when Elena positioned herself behind a cluster of fever trees, hoping to photograph a small family of elephants she'd been following for weeks. The matriarch, whom she'd nicknamed Inkosazana for her regal bearing, moved with the quiet dignity that only comes with age and wisdom. Beside her, a playful calf no more than 8 months old explored the world with the boundless curiosity that marks the very young. Elena adjusted her camera settings, smiling as she watched the little one's antics. The calf would take a few steps toward an interesting rock or flower, then scamper back to brush against its mother's massive leg, seeking reassurance before venturing out again. These tender moments between mother and child were exactly why Elena had dedicated her career to wildlife photography. She believed these images could help people understand that animals experience love, fear, and joy just as deeply as humans do. The morning air was sweet with the scent of blooming acacia trees, and a gentle breeze carried the distant calls of zebras and the melodic songs of weaver birds. Elena had positioned herself downwind, her khaki clothing helping her blend into the landscape. Through her viewfinder, she watched as the mother elephant methodically stripped bark from a dead tree, occasionally glancing down to check on her precious cargo. The calf, meanwhile, had discovered a butterfly. Its iridescent wings caught the early morning light as it danced from flower to flower, and the young elephant was absolutely captivated. Elena couldn't help but chuckle softly as she captured frame after frame of the calf's attempts to follow the delicate creature. But butterflies, as Elena well knew, could lead young animals into trouble. The calf took one step, then another, its attention completely absorbed by the dancing insect. Elena noticed it first through her lens, a subtle shift in the grass pattern about 20 feet from where the calf was heading. Her blood ran cold as she recognized the telltale diamond pattern of scales barely visible in the dappled shade. An East African rock python, easily 12 feet long and thick as a man's torso, lay coiled in perfect ambush position. Elena's finger hesitated over her camera's shutter button. Every instinct screamed at her to call out, to throw something, to create a distraction. But she was over 100 yards away, and any sudden movement or sound might startle the calf directly toward the predator. Her heart hammered against her ribs as she watched the tragedy unfold in slow motion through her telephoto lens. The butterfly led the calf closer to the concealed python with each passing second. Elena could see the snake's unblinking eyes, could almost sense the coiled tension in its muscular body as it prepared to strike. The mother elephant, busy with her breakfast of bark and leaves, remained unaware of the approaching disaster. When the attack came, it was explosive and terrifying. The python struck with lightning speed, its massive coils wrapping around the calf's small body before the young elephant could even cry out. But when the sound finally came, a high-pitched, desperate trumpet of pure terror, it shattered the peaceful morning like breaking glass. Elena's camera captured every horrifying second as the mother elephant's head snapped up, bark falling forgotten from her mouth. The sight that met her eyes would have broken any mother's heart. Her baby was disappearing beneath thick, muscular coils that tightened with each passing second. Nkosazana's transformation was instantaneous and terrifying. The gentle, methodical creature Elena had been photographing vanished, replaced by 6 tons of maternal fury. Her ears spread wide, her trunk raised high. She charged toward the python with earth-shaking steps that sent birds exploding from nearby trees. But the python was no novice at survival. As the enraged mother approached, the massive serpent reared up, displaying its impressive length and gaping maw in a clear warning. For a heart-stopping moment, the two titans faced each other, the elephant's rage meeting the snake's cold determination. Elena's hands shook as she continued photographing, knowing she was witnessing something extraordinary. The mother elephant began stomping the ground around the python, each impact sending shockwaves through the earth. Dust clouds rose with every strike as she tried to intimidate the serpent into releasing her child. The calf's struggles were growing weaker, its trumpeting cries becoming softer and more desperate. Elena could see through her lens that time was running out. The python's constricting coils were slowly but surely stealing the life from the young elephant. Then something remarkable happened. The frantic stomping suddenly stopped. Through her viewfinder, Elena watched as the mother elephant's entire demeanor changed. The panic in her ancient eyes was replaced by something far more dangerous: calculated intelligence. What happened next would haunt Elena's dreams and fill her with awe in equal measure. With deliberate precision, the mother elephant positioned one of her massive front feet directly onto the lower half of the python's body, pinning several feet of the serpent to the ground. It wasn't a crushing blow meant to kill, but a strategic move that neutralized the snake's ability to use its full muscular length for leverage. The python's tail thrashed violently, but its primary source of constricting power was now compromised. Elena realized she was witnessing something incredible. The mother elephant had intuitively understood the physics of how constrictors work and had found a way to counter it. But the most astonishing moment was yet to come. With the snake partially immobilized, Nkosazana lowered her massive head and carefully inserted the tip of her trunk under one of the coils wrapped around her calf's chest. Elena held her breath as she watched the delicate precision required for this maneuver. One wrong move could injure the calf, but the mother's trunk, that incredibly versatile appendage that could pick up a single blade of grass or uproot an entire tree, worked with surgeon-like accuracy. Then began the most epic tug-of-war Elena had ever witnessed. The mother elephant's massive shoulders bunched with effort as she pulled, her feet digging deep furrows in the earth for traction. The python, enraged and fighting for its meal, resisted with every ounce of its considerable strength. For an eternal moment, nothing moved. The forces were perfectly balanced: maternal love against primal hunger, intelligence against instinct. Elena's finger pressed the shutter continuously, capturing this titanic struggle between life and death. With a final, tremendous heave that made the very ground tremble, something gave way. The coil stretched, slipped, and suddenly broke free. The pressure was released, and the spell of death was broken. Defeated and likely injured, the python uncoiled with surprising speed and disappeared into the tall grass, abandoning its prey to save itself. The calf collapsed to the ground, motionless and barely breathing. Elena watched through tears as the warrior mother was instantly transformed back into a gentle parent. Nkosazana knelt beside her child, her massive form now tender and careful. Her trunk, which moments ago had been an instrument of war, now caressed her calf with impossible gentleness. Soft, rumbling sounds emanated from deep in the mother's chest, vibrations of love, encouragement, and desperate hope. Elena could barely see through her camera's viewfinder as the emotional weight of the scene overwhelmed her. For long, agonizing minutes, the calf remained still. Then Elena saw it. The faint flutter of an eyelid, followed by the weak movement of a large ear. The mother felt it too, and her encouraging rumbles grew stronger. Slowly, with tremendous effort and his mother's unwavering support, the calf struggled to its feet. It leaned heavily against Nkosazana's side, drawing strength from her warmth and presence. The little elephant was alive, safe, and reunited with its mother. Elena lowered her camera, tears streaming down her face. She had witnessed something beyond mere survival. She had seen the profound power of maternal love triumph over death itself through courage, intelligence, and sheer determination. As the elephant family slowly walked away from the scene of battle, Elena knew she had captured more than just photographs. She had documented proof that the bonds between mother and child transcend species, that love can indeed move mountains and unwind death's embrace. This incredible story reminds us that we share this planet with beings capable of profound emotion, strategic thinking, and heroic sacrifice. If this tale of a mother's courage moved you as much as it moved me, please hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing true stories from the wild.